Alien scientists recoiled in shock as they beheld the brutally streamlined curves, dagger-shaped hull lines and ultra-advanced weaponry of the ancient human warship buried beneath the moon ruins, realizing humanity had been playing the galaxy as fools for centuries. In the dimly lit Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council's sprawling space station, representatives from a dozen alien races were locked in a heated argument. Raised tentacles, flared neck frills, and angry trilling noises signaled the intensity of the debate. At the podium, Xanth, the green-scaled reptilian ambassador from Orion Sector, slammed his clawed fist on the lectern. "These hairless apes were planning to invade us," Xanth snarled, his forked tongue flicking between razor fangs. "We found the ruins of a secret military base on XR335, one of the barren moons in my sector. Inside the collapsed structures were the remains of a human warship, centuries older than their supposed first contact with the galactic community." Murmurs of disbelief and outrage rippled through the assembled aliens as Xanth tapped the console, projecting holographic images of the wrecked moon base and the ship buried in its twisted metal guts. "How could the humans have built this without us knowing?" asked Zorva, the blue-feathered avian delegate from Alpha Cygni. Her beak clicked nervously. "The design is centuries ahead of anything we've seen from Earth's primitive militaries," added Grukoth, the bulbous-headed cephaloid ambassador. "And the weapons, kinetic mass drivers, particle lances, some kind of singularity generator. This warship outclasses the best vessels in our combined fleets. If the humans had a fleet of these..." The implications hung heavy in the air. Humanity's miraculous first contact 200 years ago, when a battered freighter from Sol System limped into a Centauri spaceport, had been hailed as a momentous occasion, the addition of a new spacefaring race to the galactic stage. Earth's fledgling federation had been granted protectorate status, with strict limits placed on its expansion and military strength to prevent the impulsive, violent humans from threatening the delicate peace between the older species. Had it all been a ruse? Were the humans playing a long game, pretending to be harmless to cover their tracks while they schemed to conquer the galaxy? The discovery of the secret base and mysterious advanced warship in the Orion Sector ruins meant all the aliens' assumptions about humanity were now suspect. Humanity was an unknown variable, its motives and capabilities murky. If the truth about this ancient ship and moonbase got out, if human infiltrators had been seeded on alien worlds lying in wait to strike, it could spark a galactic war as other species took preemptive action against Earth. Trillions could die, entire worlds could burn, the galaxy would bleed. Grim-faced, the Council agreed that an elite Spectre agent needed to lead the mission to secure the moonbase and warship, someone who could unravel this centuries-old mystery and prevent catastrophe. They needed a human, Commander Donald Williams. Williams sighed as he reviewed the holodiagram of the distant moonbase, the blue light of the projector illuminating the jagged scar on his cheek, a souvenir from fighting alongside the Orion rebels in the Zgranic uprising. He was the right man for the mission, one of the few humans that the Galactic Council trusted to get the job done, even if he didn't trust them at all. William's finger hovered over the accept button, the clashing glyphs of 100 alien languages swirling in his augmented vision as his brain implant auto-translated. One press and he'd be committed. Failure was not an option. The fate of the galaxy, of humanity itself, hung in the balance. William's finger punched the accept button with a sigh. There was no time to waste. He pulled up his contacts and shot off messages to the only two people he trusted for a shitstorm like this. Jack Boomer Briggs, William's buddy from back in the Spectre Academy. The burly demolitions expert had a juvenile sense of humor, but he was a goddamn artist when it came to making things explode. Dr. Isaac Nakamura was the other essential pick, an eccentric xenotechnologist with an unmatched knowledge of alien tech. The bespectacled scientist had a habit of going off on excited tangents, but he was a certified genius. The team assembled at the spaceport, geared up, and boarded a matte black stealth ship bristling with advanced human weapons. As the ship knifed through space toward the Orion sector, Williams gathered Briggs and Nakamura in the cramped briefing room. "Listen up," Williams said, pulling up a hollow of the barren moon. "I've got a hunch Ambassador Xanth isn't telling us the full story. He may be holding out on intel about this ancient warship." "It wouldn't be the first time a scaly bastard lied to us," Briggs grumbled, chewing a wad of tobacco. "Indeed, the Orion hegemony has displayed a proclivity for deception in past encounters," Nakamura mused, adjusting his glasses. "The possibility that they might seek to acquire this archaic human technology for their own purposes is not outside the realm of consideration." "Exactly," Williams said. "We need to get our hands on that ship and find out the truth before the Orions do. Galaxy's fate might depend on it." As the stealth ship dropped out of warp near the moon, alarms suddenly blared on the bridge. The pilot, a lanky man named Martinez, shouted over the klaxons, "Commander, I'm picking up weird energy readings from those ruins and, shit, multiple contacts closing in fast. Orion fighters." "Ambush," Briggs yelled. "Evasive maneuvers now," Williams ordered. The stealth ship jinked and juked, trying to evade the Orion attack craft that swarmed like angry hornets. But the enemy ships were too fast, too numerous. Emerald plasma bolts hammered the human vessel, chewing through its armored hull. "We're hit," Martinez cried. "Engines are failing. We're going down." The ship shuddered like a wounded animal as it plunged toward the moon's rocky surface. It slammed into the jagged terrain in a gout of fire and debris, skidding to a halt near the crumbling ruins. Battered but alive, Williams kicked open a warped hatch and staggered out, followed by a coughing Briggs and a wide-eyed Nakamura. Smoke poured from the crashed ship's rents. "Everyone okay?" Williams asked, scanning for threats. "Just peachy," Briggs wheezed. "I'm used to walking away from explosions." "A most precipitous landing," Nakamura said, dusting off his lab coat. "But I am unharmed." A plasma bolt sizzled past Williams' head, forcing them to scramble for cover in the ruins as more Orion fighters swooped by. "Damn it, they're trying to pin us down," Williams said, checking his rifle's charge. Martinez stumbled out of the ship, clutching a bleeding wound in his side. "Commander, I just picked up another ship touching down nearby. Looks like a heavy Orion transport. They're deploying troops." "Well, shit," Briggs said. "This day keeps getting better." Williams risked a peek over a crumbled wall. In the near distance, he spotted a squad of reptilian Orion commandos fast roping from a hovering dropship. They were led by a massive Orion in spiked black armor, a nightmare with teeth and claws. "Zarthek, the most vicious merc in the sector." Williams ducked back as the Orion soldiers fanned out, pulse rifles ready. If Zarthak was here, then this was definitely a setup. Xanth had played them all for fools. "Dr. Nakamura, what's the fastest route to that warship?" Williams asked. Nakamura consulted his handheld scanner. There appears to be a subsurface tunnel network leading to the central chamber, but the Orions are already searching the area. "We'll have to give them the slip," Williams said, checking his ammo. "Stay low, stay quiet, move out." With the Orion hunters closing in and time running out, Williams led his team into the labyrinthine ruins, praying they'd reach the ancient warship before the galaxy's fate was sealed. Williams circled Zarthak, the huge Orion mercenary snarling and slashing with his electrified claws. The human commando ducked and weaved, barely avoiding the deadly swipes. He fired his pulse rifle, but the rounds sparked harmlessly off Zarthak's advanced armor. Boomer's voice crackled over the comm. "Commander, we're at the hangar doors. Nakamura's hacking the lock now." "Copy," Williams grunted, dodging another vicious slash. "I'll keep Ugly here busy." He holstered his rifle and drew his vibroblade, the monomolecular edge humming. Zarthak lunged, claws extended. Williams sidestepped and slashed, his blade scoring a deep gash in the Orion's armor. Sparks flew, and Zarthak roared in pain. The mercenary retaliated with a thunderous blow that sent Williams flying. He crashed into a crumbling pillar, his vision swimming. Zarthak closed in for the kill, his fangs bared in a predatory grin. Williams shook his head clear and spotted a damaged power conduit next to Zarthak. A desperate plan formed. He charged forward, ducking under the Orion's claws, and plunged his vibroblade into the exposed circuitry. Electricity arced through Zarthak's armor, overloading his power core. The mercenary convulsed and collapsed, smoke pouring from his joints. "Nap time, asshole," Williams muttered, retrieving his blade. He sprinted to the hangar, where Boomer and Nakamura had just breached the massive doors. They stood in awe, staring up at the sleek, black shape of the ancient human warship. "That's one big motherfucker," Boomer whistled. They boarded the vessel, marveling at the advanced technology within. Holographic displays flickered to life, and the hum of powerful engines filled the air. Nakamura's eyes widened as he studied a schematic. "Commander, this ship, it's powered by a quantum core. It can draw energy directly from subspace. The potential is incredible." Williams nodded, running a hand along a gleaming bulkhead. "Our ancestors were holding out on us." Suddenly an alarm blared, and a hologram of a stern-faced human captain appeared on the bridge. "I am Captain Mikhail Petrov, commander of the ESS Prometheus," the image said. "If you are seeing this, then our mission has failed, and the galaxy is in grave danger." Williams and his team listened in growing horror as Petrov revealed the ship's purpose and the threat of the Aegis, a race of machines bent on eradicating all organic life. "My God," Nakamura breathed. "The Orion warlords, they want to reactivate these Aegis using this ship." "Over my dead body," Williams growled. As the recording ended, a proximity alert flashed on the screens. A dozen Orion ships had just entered the system, weapons hot. Williams slid into the command chair, his eyes hard. "Boomer, get on the guns. Doc, see if you can bring the engines online. We're not letting these Orion bastards get their claws on the Prometheus." He gripped the controls, the sleek warship humming to life around him. The Prometheus rose from the hangar, its hull shimmering with an ethereal glow. The Orion ships opened fire, but their shots splashed harmlessly off the Prometheus' advanced shields. Williams grinned wolfishly. "Time to show them what this baby can do." Williams thumbed the firing controls, sending lances of blinding energy tearing through the Orion ships. The Prometheus danced and weaved, its quantum shields shrugging off the enemy barrage. "Boomer, target their engines," Williams barked. "Doc, divert all power to the forward guns." The Orion ships reeled as the Prometheus's weapons found their mark, explosions blossoming along their hulls. But more kept coming, a seemingly endless swarm. Williams gritted his teeth as the ship shuddered under the onslaught. They were badly outnumbered. At this rate, they'd be overwhelmed before they could escape the system. He made a split-second decision. "Doc, initiate the self-destruct sequence. Set the ship on a collision course with their flagship. We're taking these bastards with us." "Commander, the blast radius, we'll never make it out in time," Nakamura protested. "Then rig a delay. Get to the escape pods, both of you. I'll hold them off." "The hell you will," Boomer shouted over the din of battle. "We're not leaving you." Suddenly the bridge doors hissed open. Zarthak staggered in, his armor a smoking ruin. Purple blood leaked from a dozen wounds, but his eyes blazed with hate. "Yours will not deny us our destiny," he snarled. "The Aegis will rise again." He lunged at Williams, igniting his lightning claws. Williams barely parried the blow, his blade sparking against the crackling energy. Zarthak pressed the attack, driving Williams back with relentless fury. Consoles shattered and metal screeched as they smashed through the bridge. With a roar, Zarthak backhanded Williams across the face, sending him crashing into a bulkhead. Stars exploded in his vision. He tasted blood. The Orion loomed over him, claws raised for the killing blow. But Williams surged upward, driving his blade through a gap in Zarthak's armor, piercing his black heart. The mercenary convulsed, his eyes wide with shock. Then he toppled, a puppet with its strings cut. Williams staggered to his feet, clutching his side. "Boomer, Doc, get to the pods, now." "Commander." Nakamura's voice was anguished. "That's an order, go." Cursing, Boomer dragged Nakamura away. Moments later, Williams saw the pods jettison on the viewscreen, dwindling into the void. Alone on the bridge, Williams slumped into the command chair. Warnings flashed red across the screens. The Prometheus was coming apart, its hull breached in a dozen places. He overrode the safety protocols, pouring every last erg of power into the engines. The quantum core howled like a demon as the ship hurtled towards the Orion flagship. Williams opened a comm channel, broadcasting on all frequencies. "This is Commander Donald Williams of the Galactic Council. The Orion warlords have betrayed us all. They seek to unleash an ancient evil that will destroy every living thing in the galaxy. But we will stop them. We will—" A coughing fit racked his body, blood flecking his lips. He was fading fast. On the viewscreen, the Orion flagship loomed like a monstrous predator, growing larger with each passing second. Williams looked up at the stars, at the infinite vastness of space. He thought of all the worlds out there, all the lives he had sworn to protect. It had been a good fight, a worthy cause. He closed his eyes at peace. "For Earth," he whispered, "for the galaxy." The Prometheus slammed into the Orion flagship, and the universe turned white. A sun bloomed in the void, an all-consuming storm of light and fury. The explosion ripped through the Orion fleet, shattering ships like glass. The shockwave scoured the surface of the moon, vaporizing the ruins and the ancient secrets they held. For a heartbeat, the fabric of space-time itself rippled and tore. The boundaries between dimensions blurred, and the warp and weft of the universe came unknitted. And then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. The rift sealed itself, the laws of physics reasserting their hold. In the ringing silence that followed, there was no trace of the Prometheus, the Orion fleet, or the ancient human base. Only drifting dust and echoes. Light years away in the halls of the Galactic Council, a message chimed on the central computer. It was a final transmission from the Prometheus, a dire warning delivered at the cost of a hero's life. The councillors listened in stunned silence as Commander Williams's voice, steady and strong despite the ruin of his body, laid bare the Orion warlord's treachery and the looming spectre of the Aegis. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.